What do you say to yourself at 2 a.m. when your mind won't stop? Because that is the moment you either spiral or where you catch it and reshape it and how you move forward. I want to share 2 things I started saying to myself during some really hard moments. And honestly, they changed everything for me. Those moments where you are triggered might actually be the beginning of something new. If you can see it differently, everything shifts. If you're new here, hi, my name is Michal, and I'm here to help empower you with the tools you are already carrying, but maybe you didn't know it. All right, let's get to this. Here's the truth. I've had my own 2 a.m. moments, and I know I'm not the only one here. My own dark weeks where I questioned it all. Things happening that make you feel uncertain about the future. You may feel like a target is on your back, or you just feel really heavy. Recently, I went through something where I was pushed out of something that I loved, where nothing made sense. And what kept me sane, what actually saved me, was learning to reframe what was happening, redirection. And that one shift in perspective literally changed my entire trajectory moving forward. So today I want to share those 2 phrases because if they saved me, they might just save you too. The way you speak to yourself matters, but not in the way most people teach it. Negative self-talk. It increases cortisol. It keeps you in fight or flight mode. When you reframe that self-talk, it helps regulate your nervous system and it brings you back to baseline faster. So your body reacts to your self-talk as if they're real events. If you experience some sort of trauma and you keep that loop going on in your head, your body is literally experiencing that trauma over and over and over again. Let's break that cycle. You've probably heard this advice about affirmations. Wake up in the morning and look in the mirror. Repeat your affirmations 5 times or something to that effect, right? And I'm not saying that that's wrong because that may work for you. But here's my honest experience with that. We usually are not spiraling at 7 a.m. in front of the mirror. We spiral when something unexpected hits us, when we get triggered, when life throws something at us we were not prepared for. That's when you need the words, the redirection. I had a job I loved, really loved, something I was genuinely good at, and it felt like the perfect fit. And then suddenly, it was gone. Unexpected, totally abrupt. I did not see it coming. It was like a jab out of nowhere. I knew I had to interrupt that dialogue that was happening in my head or I would forever be stuck in this negative loop. So I started saying something to myself every time the spiral happened. Every time that spiral started, I would say, this is happening for me. And I would follow it up with, this or something better will come of this. That is it. Just 2 very simple phrases. And if you really look at that, it's just one small shift. It's changing one word from this is happening to me to this is happening for me. And that might sound so small, but it completely changes how you experience what's happening. To me feels like something is wrong, like you're a victim. For me, that creates space. It doesn't mean you like it, and it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. It just means maybe there's something here that I can't see yet. And just to be clear, the something better, I did not feel that yet. Nothing around me was proving that yet. Because when you look at nature, it shows this pattern everywhere. Let's take a moment to talk about the pearl. A pearl. It starts as this tiny grain of sand. And the oyster, it's mad as hell. It's like, what is going on? Get out of here. It is irritating. The oyster did not choose to have this little tiny sand in there. They want it gone, and they want it gone now. But something happens very slowly over time, can take years. That irritating thing becomes something so beautiful. That doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't skip the uncomfortable part. Another example, think about a tiny seed that you plant in your garden. It's buried in the dark, barely enough resources to survive. And from the outside, you have no idea what's going on. You think nothing is going on. But underground, it's finding its way towards the light. And it's not just finding the light, it's actually becoming something completely different, something bigger, something stronger, something you couldn't even recognize at the beginning. And I think that's the part we forget. We think we're just trying to get back to how things were, but maybe we're not meant to go back. Maybe we're in a part where we're becoming something new, something more beautiful than we can even imagine ourselves. Nature is constantly showing us this pattern: irritation, disruption, darkness, and then something beautiful. We just keep missing it because we're too busy being upset about the disruption. So instead of waiting until everything feels okay, have something ready for when it doesn't. Find 2 or 3 affirmation phrases that actually resonate with you, not ones that someone told you to say, ones that feel true when you read them. Write them down at the notes in your phone or keep them in your nightstand or in your car, because that's when you're going to need them. Not at your mirror at 7 a.m., but in the parking lot or in the middle of a hard conversation or at 2 a.m. when your mind will not stop. A dear friend of mine is terrified of flying. She has a full affirmation page saved in her phone. She reads it at takeoff and landing because that's when she needs it, in the actual moment of fear. That's how affirmations work. So just start noticing your spirals. Don't judge them, just notice them. And then interrupt them with something better. Life is happening for you. And if you need a reminder, look at nature. It's everywhere. Nature is constantly showing you the pattern: disruption, darkness, and then something beautiful. You are not broken. You are becoming. You have to just trust the timing. And that brings me to my favorite part of the video. I want to know, what is the one intentional thing you did for someone else today? Or maybe it was for yourself. Drop it in the comments. I will read them. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.